still fighting the storm. Hearts full of pain, but we're trying to transform. Mental health matters, can push it aside. We're more than survivors, we're meant to rise. Give us the care, not just the blame, cause healing begins when you call it by name. Stop the bullying, don't look away. Stop being silent, just speak up today. We're still breathing, fighting the storm and trying to transform. Fighting the storm and trying to transform. Fighting the storm and trying to transform. Fighting the storm and trying to transform.
Welcome to the very first episode of Series 2, and Making Change Requires Everyone. I'm your host, Elizabeth, and your co-host,
Kerry,
is here with me as well. Today, the topic is about stigma around mental health in immigrant families and youth perspectives on mental health. It's a recently discussed topic in some communities and newspapers, but it's not widely discussed enough. It's an incredibly important issue in our society, especially here in Canada and even more so in Quebec, where many immigrant youths are growing up with the pressure of balancing two cultures while also trying to take care of their mental health and emotional well-being.
So, thanks for that insight. It sets the stage. So, even in families that or in communities where they're relatively supportive, it can be hard for you to speak up for fear of being judged or for pressure. For example, in my family, even it's because no one talks about mental health that it feels weird to talk about it. It feels weird to talk about it because if people talked about it, like, oh, if you're feeling sad or you're feeling depressed, you can talk about it with me, well, then I wouldn't feel weird or judged or be scared talking about it. So that's kind of why one of the reasons why I think teens struggle with their mental health. So what do you think needs to change in our society in immigrant communities to make it easier for young people to reach out?
I feel as if we need more advertising of like mental health is normal, don't feel ashamed about it. Like if you need help, here's where to find help.
Yeah, so I think that would really help for a lot of people because, well, like I said, not talking about it makes it feel weird, kind of builds the pressure. So if there are advertisements that make it like, oh, here's mental health, it's this person that seems perfectly all right, well, they're actually struggling, but they're getting the help they need. So that kind of pushes you, it's like, oh, I can talk about it with my friends and family too. So, yeah. So that's a good point. So another thing I think we could do is building safer places, like for example in schools. So since school is basically at a teenager's second home, they have most of their friends there, is where they have all of the community outside of most teens is where they have their community outside of home. You need to be able to talk there, because if you can't talk there, well, then you're not going to be able to talk to anyone at home. But many people can talk. So what would you say to someone that's afraid of talking to someone at school or anywhere, in fact?
For someone who's afraid of talking at school, hopefully they have at least one person in their family who they can open up with. And even though they might not feel comfortable and like it might be hard, it's hard for everybody, but you should try to at least just say, when this happens to me, I feel sad. Or when this happens to me, it makes me really anxious.
Yeah, so I also think these spaces should not only be in school, because for some people, school is they just don't have friends, and for some other people, their home can also be a bad place. So maybe there should also be a third place, like a community center, a library, or wherever. A third place where students or youth and anyone can talk to, like anonymously, what they're feeling what they're feeling, if they can get any resources or if they need psychological help, anything like that. So spaces like that, I think, could be a good solution. So for my final questions, how can parents, community leaders, teachers, etc., can help support youth with their mental health without making them feel like they're a burden?
Well, as said before, we should have more places to talk about mental health, but I believe we should also bring it up during school, not as when they're teenagers and they're already going through it, because it might be hard to pull themselves out of it, but before then, so maybe grade 6 when they're 12 years old, and so they know what to do whenever they feel a certain way. They know how to help themselves and possibly help other people as well.
So yeah, I agree, because if you see that if it becomes normalized, well, then you're more comfortable talking about it. So yeah, while there's still a long way in reducing stigma, there's still a lot of work to be done. We really hope today's episode inspires families and communities to break the silence and move towards empathy, understanding, and healing.
And that's it for today for the episode of Making Change Requires Everyone. If this conversation resonated with you, please share it with someone who might need to hear it. And thank you for watching with us, listening to us.